Welcome back to Houston. The roof is open today, 80 degrees, perfect weather for football in the Lone Star State. Houston has won the toss. They've deferred. Kansas City will receive. Todd Haley in his second year as the head coach. He's young, he's enthusiastic, he's passionate, and he's also a tough guy as well. His team losing to Indy on the road last week, 19-9. On the other sideline, Gary Kubiak, a 500 record as the head coach of this franchise. The Texans losing to the Giants 34-10 at home. The fifth regular season meeting between these two. The series is tied at 2 apiece. Last time they met, 2007, week 1. Houston winning the game 20-3. Mario Williams had 2 sacks and a fumble return for a touchdown in that game. So Neil Rackers will send it away. Javier Arenas and Dexter McCluster are back deep. 2 very impressive rookies. Texans, Chiefs, and we're underway from Reliant. And this will be Arenas inside the 5. Crosses the 20, gets to the 25, where he's tripped up. At the 26, 23-yard return, Antoine Molden with the tackle. So that brings on Matt Cassel, formerly Tom Brady's backup in New England, formerly Carson Palmer's backup with the USC Trojans. Now he's the main man in KC. Last week, 16 of 29, 156, no touchdowns, no picks. He has completed 16 passes in each of his past 3 games. First down and 10. At the 26, McCluster in the backfield. They hand it off, and this is Charles. And that's a loss of 2 on the play. Offensively, let's take a look at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, Gus, at left tackle, you're going to get, or right tackle, Barry Richardson's going to start. Ryan O'Callahan still out with a groin injury, but he'll be back very soon to get these guys back to full strength. And in the back end, look for Dexter McCluster to get a little look as well at wide receiver.
Chiefs quickly to the line, a 4-yard gain for Jamal Charles. Let's quickly take a look at the rest of the offense.
And Dexter McCluster gets his first start at wideout today. Chris Chambers is out with an injury to his ring finger. He can't catch the ball, so Dexter McCluster, the young phenomenon from Mississippi, in the game to start.
McCluster can play running back, he can play wide receiver, he can run back punts, he can run back kicks. He is a do-it-all player at all of 5'8", 170 pounds. Third down, 8 at the 28. They need to go to the 36 for first. Cassel down the middle, and he throws a strike. Matt Cassel finding Dwayne Bowe. That's a 14-yard gain.
Well, Dwayne Bowe is going to be a big issue today. He's working against, as we said, Texans have really struggled in their secondary to stay with guys, and Dwayne Bowe just running a quick hitch, or a quick hook rather, in about 12 yards. Very simple. Texans defense has got to stay on him closer than that.
10 catches on the season now for Dwayne Bowe. He's averaging 17 yards a grab. They throw it into the flats, and this is Charles making people miss, and he gets to midfield. Mario Williams with the tackle. It's a gain of 8. Defensively, let's take a look at the Houston Texans.
Well, up front, it starts with Mario Williams. He's their biggest guy. He's got to help them out in the pass rush. We said it in the open, Gus. This front 4 has got to be better. And in this, with the linebackers, only 4 linebackers active for the Texans. Brian Cushing may be the best guy. In the back end, Bernard Pollard led the Chiefs in 2008 in tackles. And Gus, Bernard Pollard's going to want to get violently reacquainted with his old teammates. It's the first time they've seen him since he left.
So Jamal Charles running the football, tackled by D'Amico Ryans, and you're seeing, Steve, this Kansas City squad get to the line of scrimmage quickly.
Absolutely. You see, as we kind of bounce back and forth between lineups in these plays, the Chiefs do not do this much. This is new.
Cassel running it, and he's got the first down. Matt Cassel sliding down at the 41. And that is a gain of 8 yards. New offensive coordinator in Kansas City. They bring in a veteran of many wars in Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, and you think, too, Todd Haley, last week they opened up with a surprise onside kick in Indianapolis. This week they come out in no huddle. They really don't pull any punches, Gus. They will do anything to get an edge, particularly early in games. You got to tip your hat to Todd Haley. He has got the guts of a cat burglar.
First down and 10, 42. Here's the handoff. Charles again over the left side. Turns the corner. Lowers his shoulder and gets out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Ryan Cushing with the tackle, but that's a gain of 8.
And there you have it, Gus. That's big. After all that stuff, you get back on your heels watching this Chiefs offense. They're no huddle. They're running naked boots with their quarterback. And then a first down run, 8 yards. That's what you get out of it. You don't just start handing it off dives up the middle. That defense doesn't really know what to expect. When you can get a 9-yard run on first down, that sets you up for some success.
Second down and 1 at the 33. Thomas Jones checks in now. Single setback. Jones over the right side with blockers. Cuts it inside. Thomas Jones, one of the tough guys in the NFL, gets inside the 25, picks up 8. Eugene Wilson chops him down.
Yeah, and we talked to Jamal Charles, and he'll tell you Thomas Jones has been a guy that's really taught Jamal Charles a little bit about what it is to be. Thomas Jones starting out with Chicago, going to New York Jets. Now he's in Kansas City. He can teach a young player a lot about what it is to be a pro.
9th play of the drive that started at the Kansas City 26-yard line. First down and 10 at the 25. Charles back in the game. Behind Matt Cassel. They give it to him left this time. And he gets a couple on the play.
You know, Gus, you talk about it. This is what the run game does for you. The Chiefs are right now pounding it against the Texans, and sooner or later, you know, everybody fears when you get a good run game going, you're going to fake the run and then go deep over the top. But I'll tell you what, Charlie Weiss, why would you fake the run and go over the top and risk it? They haven't stopped your run game yet. You don't go over the top until they start to have success stopping your run. Until then, beat them up.
Second down and 7 at the 22. McCluster, Charles line up. Here's Cassel throwing it to Charles in the flats. And Charles stopped by Mario Williams. And that is a loss of 2 on the play. Mario Williams, not only is he a great pass rusher, but he's very good playing the run as well. And he stops Charles on this short pass.
Well, he's so athletic. You see him, he's on the ground. He gets up, comes back, and still makes a tackle 2 yards deep. You see there, nice block there by Richardson. Gets him on the ground like he's supposed to, so he doesn't bat the pass down, but he still makes the tackle. That is a great player.
Third down and 9 at the 24. They need to get to the 15 for a first down. McCluster in motion. Lines up in the backfield. Here's a draw play, and they did not catch the Texans sleeping. He will be about 1.5 yards short. Kareem Jackson, the impressive rookie out of Alabama, makes the stop.
Gus, this is Kansas City Chiefs football. You're not going to run the risk of turning it over. Look at the hole that they've got for them. They needed 10 or not, but didn't get it. And now they come in. They're going to keep their offense on the field. Todd Haley, like he did a week ago, rolling the dice here in the early going on 4th and short.
4th down and 2. Texans crowd getting into it. Thomas Jones in the game. Twins to the top of your screen. Cassel underneath, knocked down. That's Kareem Jackson, but a flag on the play.
They're going to get the call, Gus. Kareem Jackson grabbed the outside shoulder of Copper.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. Penalized at the spot of the foul and a first down.
Ron Winter, your referee today.
Gus, I told you last week they went for it on 4th and short, and Indianapolis did not get it. He does it again. I'll tell you what, as a player, Gus, you ache to come through for a coach who gives you that chance. You just want to come through and get that play so badly.
So that brings up a first down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Opening drive for Kansas City. Here's the toss. Thomas Jones and the flag prior to the snap.
Just a little bit of a twitch on the offensive line for the Chiefs.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's Ryan Lilja, the right guard. Both teams have struggled in the red zone this year. Kansas City has scored just 3 touchdowns in 10 trips. 30% is 5th fewest in the NFL. Houston has allowed 13 touchdowns in 16 trips. 81% is the second most in the National Football League.
So neither one of these, the offense isn't any good and the defense can't stop. So they're between a pillow and a soft place. Is that what you're telling me?
First down and 15. 12th play of the drive. At the 16-yard line. Out of the eye. Cox the up back. They give it to the deep back, and that's Jones. Down the sideline. And Thomas Jones stopped by Cushing, but he picks up 8 on the play.
This run game for the Chiefs is so versatile, Gus. They hand it to him wide. They give it to him on sprint draws. They have lead blockers. They go, and even the quarterback getting into it with a naked bootleg out in the middle of the field. It's such a good, solid run game, and those two running backs and the offensive linemen who are so mobile getting out in front of these guys really puts the pressure on the defense sideline to sideline. Those two running backs really picking great spots to get some yards.
Second down and 7 of the 8. Here's Cassel throwing into the flats. McCluster, nice move and a terrific open field tackle. That's Glover Quinn to keep him from getting into the end zone. A 5-yard gain.
Yeah, and this is a nice pass, nice quick release by Cassel, and he gets a good block right there from Dwayne Bowe on the safety, and McCluster's one-on-one, and you're right, Quinn makes a great tackle down close to bring up the 3rd and short.
3rd down and 1 at the 2. Chiefs still with an opportunity to get a first down as they break the huddle. Thomas Jones in the backfield, double tight ends. He's got Mike Cox in front of him. Here's Jones looking. I don't know. He needed to get to the 1-yard line. D'Amico Ryans with pressure. He comes up with the tackle. And that'll bring up 4th down. He didn't get there.
No, he did not. And when you go for it on 4th and short, when you're already in field goal range and you get it, when you get closer and you get another 4th and short, I think you automatically go for it, and the Chiefs will.
So on 4th down, Todd Haley going for it again. 15th play of the drive. Out of the offset eye. Play action. Cassel running. Fires. Touchdown. Mike Vrabel checked in the game as a receiver. How many times did we see him do that when he was in New England?
A 14-year veteran, Gus. Those guys don't make mistakes. He's going to be in the right spot. Cassel knows he's going to be there. They played together in New England. A little bit of history between them, and Cassel, you see it right there. You can't miss it. Great throw, easy catch. You'll see how these guys get lost right here. He's down inside, and he's a linebacker with a 50s number. You think, okay, well, you got to look inside the helmet. If it's Mike Vrabel, you know he's caught a bunch of them.
And the extra point is up and good. Opening drive for Kansas City, 15 plays, 74 yards. They ate up 8:37, and the Chiefs strike first, 7-7. Tenth career regular season touchdown for Mike Vrabel, 12 overall, 2 in the playoffs. He had 1 last season, and Kansas City with a 7-0 lead on the road here in Houston. Matt Cassel showing his legs on that opening drive as he throws the touchdown. Cassel now with 5 touchdown passes on the year. So Houston ready to get on the field for the first time. Suckup sends it away, and this goes into the end zone for a touchback. The league's leading rusher trots onto the field. Arian Foster ready to lead Houston.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The Dodge Challenger. Visit your local Dodge dealer today. And by Sprint, the Now Network.
Welcome back. Kansas City coming off their longest drive of the season, 74 yards. Here's Arian Foster over the right side. Kansas City on that opening drive, going for it on 4th down twice. Brandon Flowers with the tackle there. Let's meet Matt Schaub last week against the Giants, 16 of 34, 196 yards, no touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times, intercepted once, and the no touchdown passes ends a franchise record of 12 straight games with at least 1 TD. Arian Foster picks up 3 yards on the play. Texans offense ranks 6th in the NFL, 5th in rushing. Let's take a look.
Well, Rashad Butler is going to start at left tackle again for Dwayne Brown, who's out serving a suspension, but he's back next week. That'll help the pass protection for Matt Schaub, and of course the backs and receivers led by Andre Johnson. I'll say it, Gus, he's the best guy in the National Football League. Everybody knows him, everybody watches him, everybody wishes he was on their team.
Still playing though, Steve, with that tender ankle. He's had a specially built brace on that right ankle. He's trying to play through the pain. 3rd and 7 to the 23. Jacoby Jones in motion. Here's Schaub. Schaub in trouble. And he just flicks it in front of him, and Arian Foster grabs it, dives forward, picks up a first down at the 31. Brandon Carr with the tackle. And it's a gain of 7 yards.
Yeah, they're going to mark him just shy of the 30, and of course the drive started on the 20. They've got to get to the line, and they're not going to give it to him, and the Texans are forced to punt. You see there, and it's a good spot. His knee was down before the ball came down on the ground. He was short of the 30, and that forces the Texans to punt it away.
So Matt Turk comes in to punt. He's standing at his own 16-yard line. And back deep, Javier Arenas, the rookie out of Alabama, and the flag thrown.
And the Texans didn't have enough players on the football field.
So Houston getting off to a sloppy start. 7-0, Kansas City. All right, the new NFL.com mobile apps have arrived. No matter where you are, you can track scores, set fantasy lineups, and get highlights of your team's big plays. Go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Matt Turk ready to punt it away, and Javier Arenas back deep. Only 38.7 of his career punts have been returned for Matt Turk.
Yeah, you talk about it, Gus. The Texans, we mentioned in the open, they only have 4 linebackers active. Xavier Adibi, Kevin Bentley, Sharpton, none of those linebackers are active. That's the core of your special teams crew.
Is restored.
And now, coming out of
a timeout,
Gary Kubiak's team gets a flag thrown on him for delay of game.
You know, you talk about it, the Texans really need to be better at home. They have really struggled in the last year or so winning games in their own yard, and this is kind of typical of it. They kind of come in acting like they didn't expect a game to be played.
Turk backs up to his own 10. 15th season in the NFL. And he nails this one. Arenas backpedaling. Starts at the 16. Arenas. And he is stopped at the 31-yard line. Some good special teams coverage. And that'll be Carl Hama. 60-yard punt, 15-yard return, and another flag on the play.
Always has a bunch of flags. Talking things over. And the problem with special teams plays, Gus, is they have the option of tacking it on to the end of the run or making them re-kick. And of course, this is going to be against the Chiefs. Their huddle's already backing up.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 53 of the return team. There is no foul for running into the kicker. The contact was by a kicking team player.
That's DeMario Williams. 7-0 Kansas City. Chiefs backing it up a little bit.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Find an agent or get a quote at statefarm.com. And by Denny's new Build Your Own Omelet. Choose from 17 different ingredients and make your own omelet your own way.
Welcome back to Reliant here in Houston. Chiefs. Second drive of the game. Start at the 17. Cassel short drop underneath. Caught by Pope. The starting tight end, his second catch of the year. Cushing, D'Amico Ryans in on the play, but it's an 11-yard gain.
Well, this Chiefs offense starting out today, look at that, 15 plays, 74 yards. I'll tell you, the Texans, though, are a team, as you look at this right there, they're a team that could only have the ball for 15 or 20 minutes in the game and still score 38 points.
Matt Cassel on his opening drive, 5 of 5, now 6 of 6. First down and 10. Here's Thomas Jones. And Jones going forward, stopped by Ryans and Sean Cody, a gain of 4.
Yeah, look back at that last drive of the Chiefs. You know, the one play, the 12-yard pass to Bo, was really the one that made the difference. Everything else was on the ground. They did throw a couple of swing passes. There, one to McCluster as he gets down close, and then, of course, the touchdown pass to Vrabel. But that was a grinded-out drive. Not much chance to turn it over when you don't throw it too much.
Second down and 6 at the 33. Thomas Jones, a single setback. Here's Cassel, straight drop, underneath. O'Connell with the reception, and he gets clobbered. Bernard Pollard, big tackle, but it's a 7-yard gain. Cleveland taking on Pittsburgh today. Welcome back, JB.
Hey, Gus, thank you so very much. Good to be back in the saddle again, partner. We're keeping an eye on Ben Roethlisberger. First offensive series, completed his first 2 passes. That one to the wrong team. Rookie Joe Hayden returns to 62 yards. Cleveland capitalizes the field goal. They're up 3. Gus and Steve.
All right, JB, here's Thomas Jones trying to get around the corner. And Jones to the 41, 2-yard gain. Antonio Smith with the tackle. Thomas Jones bounced around the league. Played with Arizona 2000 to 2002, Tampa Bay 03, Chicago 04 through 06, the Jets 07 to 09. He's a player, 5'10", 212, tough runner.
Everywhere he's been, it seems as though the team has gotten a guy they want to get that was younger. And yet, everywhere he goes, seems like he rushes for 1,000 yards and does nothing but produce.
Underappreciated, undervalued. Jamal Charles in the backfield. McCluster in motion, he lines up. Cassel throws it out of bounds, and a flag on the play.
Yeah, they're going to be an illegal shift. The Chiefs. Cassel got Dwayne Bowe to move his split out, and before Bowe could move out and stop, McCluster was in motion. They had 2 guys in motion at the same time, and that's a penalty.
Illegal shift offense. 2 men moving prior to the snap. Did not get reset. That penalty's declined. Makes it 3rd down.
Yeah, Dwayne Bowe, I think, didn't take the right split. See out at the far thing. See Cassel is trying to get Dwayne Bowe to move out past the numbers. See him? Well, by the time Bowe gets out there, now McCluster's in motion before Bowe gets set. That's the penalty.
So that makes it 3rd and 8 at the 42. They need to go to midfield for 1st down. Jamal Charles in the backfield with Cassel out of the shotgun. McCluster in motion. Again, the handoff. And this is Charles. And he will not get there. Nice pursuit by the Texans defense led by Bernard Pollard and Zach Dials.
I'll tell you,
3-yard gain.
Excuse me, guys. I'll tell you, Gary Kubiak would break out in hives if he tried to run it on 3rd and long. But Todd Haley and Charlie Weiss, they'll do it. They'll run the ball, punt them down deep into their own end, and come back and fight later. This is a play that the Chiefs run like no other team, running on 3rd and long. It's conservative, but hey, they got a 7-point lead.
So Dustin Colquitt ranked 23rd in the NFL with a 42.7 average. Punts it away. Jacoby Jones signals for the fair catch. And Jacoby Jones has it at the 16. 39-yard punt. 7-0 Kansas City. Here comes Matt Schaub and the Texans offense.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Romeo Crennel, the former head coach in Cleveland from 2005 through 2008, one of Bill Belichick's trusted assistants, now in Kansas City. And he has this defense playing in a way the same way New England used to play, kind of a bend but don't break with that 3-4.
Well, they're not complicated, but I'll tell you what, those players play with confidence. It makes a difference when you got good players. You look at Glenn Dorsey. This is a different front 7 when he's in the game. The guy's a great run stuffer. That makes everybody around him better in every other phase of the game. When you got a tree stump down inside helping, you know, it just makes everything better. Romeo Crennel doesn't ask a lot, but he gets what he asked for.
Shaw, far side, Andre Johnson. And he goes backward, driven down, Brandon Flowers. A 4-yard gain for Andre Johnson, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter with the score, Kansas City 7, Houston nothing. We'll return to Houston after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Welcome back to Houston. Check out the new CBSSports.com shop for officially licensed NFL gear and get 3-day shipping on every order. Go to shop.cbssports.com. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker with you. There's Todd Haley, and you got to give him a lot of credit for hiring veteran coordinators, former head coaches. Romeo Crennel and Charlie Weiss. And here's shot, handing it off. Foster breaks it. And Arian Foster. No, stopped by John McGraw. That's a 21-yard gain.
Well, you know that Arian Foster doesn't lead the league in rushing without being able to get through it. Well blocked up front. Following the offensive line right up through Eric Winston, the right tackle pulling around, getting up into the hole and sealing it off. McGraw having to catch up to Foster about 15 yards down the field. What a nice play.
11 carries, 25 yards for Foster last week. Schaub underneath. And it's Andre Johnson with the reception, and he stopped by Derek Johnson, a 3-yard gain. But a very interesting stat, Steve. Last week, the Chiefs defense did not allow Peyton Manning to throw a touchdown pass for only the 25th time in 197 career starts. So that says a whole lot about how they are keeping guys in front of them.
Yeah, sometimes it's not pretty, sometimes it's not exciting to watch, but man, are they effective in that front 7 and, of course, in the secondary as a result.
Second down and 7 at the 48. Foster. And Foster gets the football to the 47-yard line, about a 6-yard gain. Donald Washington with the tackle. How does Arian Foster, as you look at Romeo Crennel, Steve, how does Arian Foster, played at Tennessee, he's the league's leading rusher, how is he undrafted out of college?
Well, when they get these guys into the draft, they measure how tall they are, how fast they are, how strong they are, how much they weigh. You can't measure commitment. You can't measure the heart of a guy, and you can't measure the size of the chip on his shoulder. And Arian Foster is a guy that's got all that.
Third down 2 at the 47. Schaub, short drop to the sideline. Knocked away. Great defense by Brandon Flowers. And when we talked to Todd Haley yesterday, he's so high on this young man. Third-year player out of V-Tech. He said that he wants to take on the best.
Well, he does. And you know what? The coaching staff and the organization really have high hopes for Brandon Flowers. And I'll tell you what, he's a guy that wants to play against Andre Johnson. He wants the opportunity to take the challenge. He has supreme confidence like a lot of cornerbacks do, but that's a guy that really could be one of the great ones in the upcoming years.
Turk to send it away inside his own 40, angles it toward the near side. Arenas lets it go over his head, and it's out of bounds. Let's see where they will mark the football at the 12-yard line. Tonight on 60 Minutes, it's a wonder of the world in the holiest of cities. A dig that is uncovering thousands of years of history. So why is it causing so much tension? Tonight on 60 Minutes only, CBS. First down and 10 at the 12-yard line for Matt Cassel and the Kansas City Chiefs. Thomas Jones. And Thomas Jones crosses the 15. Tripped up by Mario Williams, but he gains 5 on the play.
Nice little straight-ahead run, straight-ahead blocking by the offensive line, and Thomas Jones, the kind of a stretch play cut back right up over the center by the time he actually gets tackled. And you look there, that's what the Chiefs are all about. Don't let them see the football and score when you get it.
Second down and 5 to the 17. Charles breaks it back, and he goes down. Picks up maybe a yard on the play. Earl Mitchell, as well as Brian Cushing, in on the tackle. So we were talking about Todd Haley, and we were talking to him yesterday about selecting 2 veteran coaches. As a matter of fact, he used to work for Charlie Weiss in '97 with the Jets as his quality control guy, but no fear about hiring guys that are just as good or maybe better.
Yeah, he said, I didn't work for him, I worked with him. I worked for Bill Parcells. But Charlie was above me in the pecking order, but Todd Haley not afraid to stand up for what he believed in, even back then.
3rd down and 4. Cassel up the sideline. Incomplete. No flag on the play, intended for Bo.
Wow, I don't know. That looked like contact all the way down the sideline. Bo did actually pull it in, but he was out of bounds when it happened.
Glover Quinn covering.
Quinn does a nice job at the line of scrimmage, but watch Cassel. He feels Cushing coming. He's got to let it go. Cushing gets the big hit on him. You see there, Bo pulls it in. Great job by Quinn, pushing him out of bounds, get him out right to the sideline. They got to make a great throw and catch to complete it. Not going to get it done.
Colquitt will punt from inside his own 5. Jacoby Jones at the 30. Jones is very dangerous. Oh, a beautiful spiraling punt by Colquitt. Jones over to the sideline, out of bounds at the 25. Terrific job. Directional punting by Colquitt, 57 yards.
'99, the New York Jets went to the championship game, and you look there, Charlie Weiss, Romeo Crennel, and Todd Haley, along with Bill Parcells on that staff. Also a bunch of guys who were players who are on this staff now. All these guys are on Kansas City staff, and you know what else, Gus? Bill Belichick, Eric Mangini, Al Groh, Dan Henning, all those head coaches were also on that staff. A lot of history that Todd Haley brings with him to this Kansas City Chiefs. He's worked with a lot of quality coaches, and it does take a lot of courage for a young head coach to hire experienced guys on his staff, because, you know, if things stumble, you never know what'll happen with the staff if things do go bad.
1st down and 10 to the 26. Play action shot. And Matt Schaub looking, cocks down. He fires. Andre Johnson's got it out of bounds at the 25. 44 yards.
Well, he's at the top of your screen right there, working against Brandon Carr. He goes up and he goes to the post and then breaks back out. Carr gets caught looking, stumbles on the outbreak. Schaub just lifts it up and throws a rainbow, which is exactly what a quarterback has to do. Gives him a chance to adjust to the football. Great pass protection, and that was the key. That route took a long time.
1st down and 10 at the Kansas City 30 for the Texans. Play action, Schaub again. This time, near side, caught out of the backfield. Arian Foster, and he dives forward, stopped by DeMario Williams, a 4-yard gain. And when we talked to Arian Foster a couple of weeks ago, when they played Oakland in Oakland, he said, you guys don't understand. I can really catch the football out of the back.
Oh, he took great pride in it. He says, I know that everybody knows I can run. And we had a couple of games already this year with 200 yards rushing, but what they don't know is that I can run routes and catch the ball. And he was waiting for that opportunity. Right there, you saw a glimpse of it.
14th reception on the season for Foster, averaging 12 yards a catch. 2nd and 6. And it's Foster running. Pops it outside and goes down inside the 20. Brandon Flowers makes the stop. Now Houston starting to find a rhythm. That's an 8-yard gain, and this crowd is getting into it.
Well, you'll see as Daniels goes over and hits the trap block, they come right back behind him, and he kind of trips right there on his own, making inside-outside. And, of course, Walter getting a nice block, looking for somebody. Finally chasing somebody down to block. Flowers keeping his feet, making the tackle. It gets confusing trying to block downfield for a running back. Texans doing a nice job.
1st down 10 at the 18. Here's Foster again. And so far this season for Houston in the red zone, 13 possessions, 8 touchdowns, 5 field goals.
Gives you an idea when you watch Foster run this, and also Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones in this NFL running style. They hand the ball to that running back with a kind of general idea of where that point of attack is going to be. But, man, when you give the ball to an athlete like these guys, they can go anywhere they want. It merely puts so much pressure on the defense to stay gap conscious and make sure that you don't over pursue and miss a gap, give the guy a crease, because they'll go anywhere.
2nd down and 9. Schaub to throw. Schaub underneath. Going Daniels. Nice catch. by the big tight end. Belcher with the tackle, but it's a gain of 8. He had to catch this one from behind.
Well, watch as Schaub is looking the other way. Daniels gives a little jab move, and nice catch. I'll tell you what, how many times you see a guy bat that to the ground trying to get it. Daniels does a nice job turning his body and pulling it in. They missed that guy when he was out with the knee injury. Now he's back and obviously feeling a lot better.
3rd down, 1 at the 9. Foster looking for the first down, and he has it. Demario Williams with a tackle, gain of 3. And one player that's an unsung player on this Houston team is Vontae Leach, the fullback. He'll create a hole for you.
Well, he's a physical ring. You see there, he blocks 2 guys. Vrabel gets caught up in the traffic of Vontae Leach's block on Johnson. As they come in, Vontae Leach not afraid to jump in front of the truck and try and block it.
Foster 8 carries, 44 yards. First down goal at the 7 out of the offset eye. Daniels in motion. Foster over the left side, and he goes down. Glenn Dorsey tripped him up. He got his ankle, a 2-yard pickup for Arian Foster. And coming into this game, both teams knew that it would be physical, and Kansas City said they knew Houston wanted to run the football.
Yeah, both these teams knew. I mean, the Texans come in with a completely different philosophy, Gus. They want to hit the home run. They're looking to fake you out with a run play, go over the top like we saw him do with Andre Johnson. The Chiefs want to hit you in the face every play and just grind it out.
2nd down goal at the 5. Ward in the game, in motion out of the backfield. Empty backfield for Schaub. He throws the fade. Oh! Incomplete. Good coverage by Brandon Carr. And Andre Johnson couldn't keep both feet in bounds.
Brandon Carr just got up and walked away because he knows that was a close one. You'll see him working against Andre Johnson. This ball's coming. He gets a glimpse of it. Hey, just defend it. Doesn't have to look pretty. Doesn't have to be a pickoff. Doesn't have to be an interception going the other way. Just don't let him catch it. Carr gets up, walks away, says, whew. So that was close.
That brings up 3rd down goal at the 5. Arian Foster in the backfield. Walters in motion. Schaub looking. Steps up. Looking. Schaub buying time. Touchdown! What a play by Matt Schaub. Joel Dreesen. With his 2nd touchdown of the season, but Schaub looked like Dan Marino in the pocket.
Great presence, Gus. You said it. Schaub did a great job of extending the play. He threatened him as though he was going to run the football. Watch. You'll be able to tell when Schaub breaks contain. There's when it's supposed to happen. Then nothing happens. Then look at that. Johnson and Dreesen right in the same spot, the dead area. Watch Schaub. He's got time. Right there's when the ball's supposed to come out. Schaub then looks like he's going to run it, throws it back across his body. That's a quarterback making a play for his team.
Rackers in for the extra point, and it's good. 6:45 to play in the 2nd quarter, folks. We're tied at 7. Welcome back as you take a look at the scoring summary. Steve, great pocket presence for Matt Schaub.
Well, he made that play at the goal line. Dreesen coming across, you saw him reach for the football, asking for it. Schaub couldn't find him. Broke contain, threatened the defense with the run, and then just found the dead spot. What a great play on both ends of that pass, really.
Rackers will send it away. We're tied at 7. Arenas and McCluster back deep. Here's Arenas from the 5. And Arenas crosses the 15, spins, gets close to the 20. Antoine Molden with the tackle. Here comes Matt Cassel.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new Silver Bullet aluminum pint from Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
And coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach C for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Reliant Stadium here in Houston. Kansas City with the football now. They took their opening drive, 15 plays covering 74 yards. They used the no huddle, 8 up, 8-23. As Matt Cassel threw a 2-yard touchdown to Mike Vrabel, his 12th career touchdown, 10th in the regular season. First down and 10 of the 19. Play action. Cassel rolling, stops, fires down the field. And incomplete. Moiaki, the intended receiver, but there's a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, this might be a hit on Cassel.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 99. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Well, he called it on 99. I think this is going to be on
Adewale Ogunleye.
Ogunleye. Yeah, that's a good call. It's too late. Trying to find Moiaki, the young tight end, down the middle of the football field was Cassel, laid it out there, but Ogunleye, one of those guys the Texans brought in to try and help get more pass rush to help a young secondary.
First down and 10. Charles skipping. And Jamal Charles gets close to midfield. A 13-yard gain. Eugene Wilson with the tackle. Big Ben with the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns. Here's JB.
Hey, Gus, Ben has bounced back from that pick he threw earlier, hooking up here with not the 60 minutes, Mike Wallace. 29 yards for the strike there. They're on top 7-3. Gus and Steve.
All right, JB, 4-yard gain for Jamal Charles. Sean Cody with the tackle. 5:53 to play in the second quarter. Game tied at 7 now. No huddle offense again for Kansas City. Very effective for them on their opening drive to start this game. 2nd and 6 at the 48. Quick strike, McCluster. And McCluster goes down at the 45. That's a 4-yard gain.
And you see the Chiefs.
Kareem Jackson on the tackle.
Just, what was it Hank Stram used to say, matriculating down the field. They took the shot downtown, which was good. It was a safe thing. Cassel just completely overthrew everybody. Now they're bringing in a heavy package. 2 tight ends and the fullback. Fullback active today, Mike Cox. Todd Haley told us Mike Cox is in there because he is a hammer.
3rd down, 2 at the 44. Charles a deep man. They give it to him. And he pushes the pile forward. D'Amico Ryans with first contact. So let's see where they spot the football. They needed to pick up 2 on the play. And I believe they'll bring out the chains and take a measurement.
Well, you'll see. Cox goes in just trying to cut off that block. I don't know about the spot they got, but I don't think it's going to be enough for the first, although it's very close.
Remember, Todd Haley and the Chiefs have gone for it on 4th down in this game already twice.
And got it.
So they're short now. And you get the feeling that they may go again.
They didn't pull that chain tight the first time. It's a little further than that. Now it's about a full 12 inches.
He's going for it.
Yeah, I mean, wow. This guy's like Cool Hand Luke. I mean, he just looks down this play sheet, sends the offense out there, and the players are going to respond. I mean, this is something that's becoming quite common.
Todd Haley, son of former Steelers personnel director Dick Haley, who helped build the Steelers in the 70s to 4 Super Bowls. Football is part of his DNA. 4th down and 1. Cox, Jones in the offset eye as they rise to their feet here in Houston. Oh, some movement on the left side, and that'll be Leonard Pope, the tight end.
And they're pointing towards the Texans as though the Texans were in the neutral zone. I don't think that's the case. Now, if the Texans were in the neutral zone and the Chiefs reacted to them, that is encroachment on the defense, but I did not see the Texans come into the neutral zone. I think the tackle and the guard both moved. I think the tight end and the tackle.
False start.
Yeah.
Offense. Left guard, number 54. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's 4-time Pro Bowler Brian Waters.
Right here. These They're going to double team down. Oh, and I'll tell you what, the defense was in the neutral zone, and that's exactly right. And I'll tell you what, the Chiefs had a beef. They had a beef. The defender was in the neutral zone when they jumped. Watch right here. If the defenders are in the neutral zone and the offense reacts naturally, it's on the defense. You see there, the defender reacted to the motion by the fullback and got into the end zone. I think that's a bad call. It should have been on the Texans.
Low snap for Colquitt. He sends this one away, and Jacoby Jones lets it go over his head and into the end zone. So let's take one more look.
Well, it's right here. Antonio Smith is going to jump into the neutral zone, and the Chiefs react. The officials didn't see it that way, and it is punted away by the Chiefs.
So Houston now with the football at their own 20. Game tied at 7, 4:11 to go. Texans with 2 timeouts plus a 2-minute warning coming up. Andre Johnson splits out wide to the top of your screen. Walter at the bottom in motion. Shaw, play fake, sets up, in trouble, and sack. Terrific job by Ron Edwards, the nose tackle. 10th-year player out of Texas A&M, and that is the first sack of the day for the Chiefs. A loss of 10.
And the Texans give up a lot of sacks because they throw it a lot, and Schaub, with a receiver like Andre Johnson, likes to wait for the pass to develop. They have a lot of deep drops. That's a 7-step drop, and it just takes a long time. And it's hard for the pass pro to hold up that long.
But that makes it 2nd down and 20 at the 10. Foster. And Foster, no gain. Nicely done by Brandon Flowers.
It gives you an illustration, guys, of why a sack is so important. It goes from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 20, and it virtually guarantees, unless they make a sensational play or a couple of very good plays in a row, that the Texans are going to have to punt the ball away. It's going to take a 3rd and 20 conversion for them to stay on the field, and it's all because of that one sack.
They need to go to the 30-yard line for a first. Schaub in the shotgun on 3rd down and 20. Draw play. Arian Foster. And he will get to the 15, a 6-yard gain, maybe the 16-yard line. Fans did not like the play selection there.
Yeah, you kind of wonder why they don't give it a chance to maybe make 2 completions on 1st and 2nd down, or 2nd and 3rd down, to give themselves a chance, but they elected not to. And will give the ball back to the Chiefs with pretty good field position, depending on Matt Turk and his ability to launch it down there.
He'll punt from the 1-yard line. McCluster hovering around the 35. This kid is very dangerous. McCluster, he'll get a shot. Makes a first man miss. Still on his feet. Oh, look at it. And McCluster. A 4-yard return on a 50-yard punt. Troy Nolan with the tackle on special teams, and it was exciting. And don't forget, also an exciting show tomorrow on CBS, Hawaii 5-0. Turning up the heat and laying down the law. Don't miss TV's #1 news show, Hawaii 5-0, tomorrow, only CBS. Decent field position for the Chiefs with 3 timeouts remaining and the 2-minute warning at their own 37-yard line. Jamal Charles checks in to the Kansas City backfield. Texans were worried about Cassel's ability to throw a 60-yard strike. Now Charles. Flag on the play. He goes nowhere. Nicely done again by Glover Quinn. A loss of 5.
This is going to be a hold on the Chiefs.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's Casey Wigman, the center.
The Chiefs finding a way to stay. You know, Gus, it's really an art form. You'll see right here, he just snapped the football, and he's going to hang on for dear life to Sean Cody. And Cody can't get is whenever you get the offensive linemen get their hands outside the shoulder, their own shoulders, or outside their shoulder width, and still have a handful, they're going to get called for a hold, and that's what happened.
2nd down and 15 at the 32 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Kansas City 7, Houston 7.
Interesting, Gus.
Welcome back to Reliance Stadium in Houston. Our game is tied at 7. Kansas City great on their first drive, struggling their last 4. Todd Haley telling us yesterday that this would be a much bigger win than loss for this Kansas City squad, especially when you know they're heading back to Arrowhead to play 2 home games. Cassel underneath, McCluster with the reception, and he gets to the 35 on 2nd and 15. D'Amico Ryans with the tackle, a pickup of 3.
Yeah, Todd Haley, we spoke to him. He talked about everything, but there's no question. This is a team, you go back and look at it, they're playing Jacksonville and Buffalo in 2 home games after this. They come out of here with a win. They're looking at 6-1. Because I'll tell you what, the new Arrowhead is probably just like the old Arrowhead. It's tough to win if you're on the road in that joint.
3rd down and 12 to the 35. They're 2 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Cassel in the shotgun. Cassel steps up, fires. And it is, looks like they're going to call it a completed pass to Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah, Cassel,
from our vantage point, it looked like he trapped it.
Yeah, it looked like Cassel almost got hit as he released it. The ball came out low, and they're going to throw the challenge flag. You can hear the crowd react as the Chiefs try and get a quick snap off and couldn't do it. And they can't. And they're going to review this from upstairs, and I don't know, not much there that says he didn't catch it. I like the hand positioning. Of course, I'm a former wide receiver, but I like his hand spot. His hands and fingers are under that ball, and he's got it right there. I don't know. I don't overturn it from that angle.
56 seconds remaining in the first half. Back after this.
This catch is under review from the replay official upstairs. And the ruling on the field here is the important thing. They ruled this a catch, and there has to be indisputable evidence to say that he did not catch it. And I'll tell you, to me, and like I said, Gus, I'm a former wide receiver, you don't take that catch away. They may see it differently in the replay booth, but see right there, he bounced and he's got it. So I'd be surprised if they overturn this, particularly just because it was called a catch. And if it was called an incompletion, I don't think they would reverse that either.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is a first down. The game clock will start on the ready for play.
Good job, partner. As always, you know the rules, so that's a 19-yard gain for Dwayne Bowe. First down and 10 at the 46.
1 second, thank you.
And that's crucial because that gives him a chance to get at least into field goal range here at the close of the first half.
Cassel in the shotgun. The handoff to Jamal Charles. And Charles, nice piece of running. And he's tackled at the 30, a 16-yard gain. Eugene Wilson brings him down.
Timeout for the Chiefs right there. Todd Haley chasing the official down the sideline to get it. What a nice, patient piece of running. This is why the Chiefs are so good. They are not afraid to hand it to Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones in situations like this. Less than a minute to go in the half. You got to gain some yards to get there. You want to guard the clock, but you know what? Because they don't waste timeouts, because they don't do things that are silly and turn it over and don't throw it, they can do things like that. Hand it off on a tough down like that.
And don't forget, coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach C for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
You don't forget, the Texans had to waste a timeout early in this half because they didn't have enough guys on their punt team, and then took a penalty after that for delay of game.
Kansas City at the Houston 30. 2 timeouts left. First down and 10. Thomas Jones. And what we've seen this Kansas City offense do in the first half, and you talk about it, you pros talk about it all the time, the great offenses go against tendencies.
Absolutely. They don't get into a habit. And that goes for running the ball and throwing it.
Cassel out of the gun. Drops it off. Thomas Jones out of the backfield. And he spins down at the 16. A 10-yard gain as Cushing makes the tackle as they quickly get to the line of scrimmage.
And they take another quick timeout. They were going to go up there. They had it. The Chiefs, you can tell, they're so well coached. They don't think about the timeout. The offensive linemen, the running backs, everybody's lining up to see if they do it. Todd Haley calls the timeout. Don't make the players carry that responsibility. He calls the timeout. You guys just keep going with the clock. I'll take care of that. And he did a great job there. You know, everybody's got to be on. You talk about being on the same page, Gus. They are. The Chiefs are so well coached. You saw it. They all knew the situation. They were hustling up to get on the line of scrimmage to maybe spike the football. Haley took that off him. There's Charlie Weiss engineering the offense from upstairs.
First down and 10 at the 17. Cassel in the shotgun. Cassel fires in the end zone. Touchdown! He threw a BB. Dwayne Bowe held on, and Kansas City scores 17 yards.
Oh, what a nice toss this was. You want to talk about a quarterback being important. He throws a dart to the back of the end zone, right in the midst of that defense. Watch Dwayne Bowe. He's going to go out. He's going to give a nice jab move, stick his foot in the ground. You see it over the linebacker right in front of the safety, and Pollard lays the lick on him. Not enough. After dropping 2 balls in consecutive plays a week ago, Bowe comes back and spears one in the back of the end zone.
Second touchdown reception of the season for Dwayne Bowe, as Kansas City goes 7 plays, 63 yards, scoring in 2 minutes. What an efficient drive for the Chiefs team.
And the thing about this Chiefs team, you watch him, Haley's on the same page. Matt Cassel's on it. The running backs know that what they're doing. The offensive line's hustling to the ball. They all seem to be right on the same page, all in it together.
D'Amico Ryan's down for Houston as they take a look. A great young linebacker, but Matt Cassel going back to Bowe. Bowe holding on to the football, but that wasn't the case last week. He had a pair of tough drops against the Colts in the third quarter, couldn't hold on to the ball in the end zone. On the following play, dropped another one. But today, he held on to this one in traffic.
Sticks his foot in the ground at the 7-yard line, knows he's going to get jacked right in the middle of the end zone. Pollard's not going to let him down and not give him a free pass. But Bowe, that's a tough catch. You know, sometimes, Gus, those are the easier catches. You know you're going to get hit whether you catch it or not. Just hang in there.
Oh, he's got great size, 6'2", 221. Todd Haley told us, though, he was a little heavy this time last year.
Well, and Dwayne Bowe wasn't the only one. I mean, he kind of made us laugh. We were talking to Todd Haley about how things have changed. He said a much more difficult training camp this year. As you see there, D'Amico Ryan's taking a ride in. He seems alert and up. But this being this close to the end of the half, they'll take him on into the locker room. Right down on the bottom of your screen right here, that's him right there. No contact on the play, and he might have already twisted something on the way towards that move. Right here. It looks like his foot slipped or his knee just gave out or something. I don't understand what had happened. So, and you know, you see these guys go through car wrecks for about 20 times a game and then no contact and something gives out. It's strange.
Ryan Suckup comes on to attempt the extra point, and it's good. 13 seconds to go, second quarter. Chiefs take a 14-7 lead. And folks, don't forget tonight on CBS, The Amazing Race goes extreme as teams square off in the Arctic Circle. and one intense competition sent someone over the edge. A new amazing race after 60 minutes tonight. Only CBS.
When you look at what's going on last drive, and I'll tell you what, that's a 2-minute drive too. 5 for 5 for 44 yards with a 17-yard TD pass at the end of it. And I'll tell you, that was a throw from a quarterback. They traded for him, wanted him, and that's a throw that makes it all worth it right there, because that was a good one.
Matt Cassel, 13 of 15, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half. The first of Rabel, and the second one to Dwayne Bowe. So with 13 seconds left, Houston with 2 timeouts remaining. Ready to receive is Slayton and Jacoby Jones line up. Ryan Suckup kicking it off from the 30-yard line. And he drives this one. Jones will bring it out of the end zone. Jacoby Jones crosses the 25, gets close to the 30, a 30-yard return. Jackie Battle with the tackle on special teams for KC. And here comes Matt Schaub. It's been a rough first half for Matt Schaub. Not a lot of openings, although he did throw the touchdown to Dreesen. Yeah. Matt Schaub, though, in the first half, 7 of 9, 74 yards.
I would expect if they're going to do anything with 8 seconds left, they have time for one play, and out of the shotgun, they're not going to kneel down. Watch for a hook and lateral.
Schaub drops it off. This is Arian Foster, and it will take us to the end of the first half. John McGraw with the tackle. Once again, the Chiefs surprising on the road. 14-7. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the National Football League on CBS. Welcome back to Houston. Our halftime score, Kansas City 14, the Texans 7. Welcome back, everybody. Gus Johnson along with Steve Tasker and partner in the first half. Kansas City playing their kind of football. Time of possession, basically 18 minutes to 12 in favor of the Chiefs.
And that's exactly what we expected. The Chiefs are going to grind it out, not make any mistakes, and force the Texans to throw the football or do something special to stay in this game. The Chiefs going into halftime with a 7-point lead. I think that's big for the Kansas City Chiefs, particularly coming out at halftime with a leg up offensively, doing anything they want.
Okay, let's take a look at the All-State points of protection.
And I think the key thing there is this is Kansas City Chiefs football. They didn't turn it over. Neither team did. Matt Cassel, 13 of 15 for 2 touchdowns and a 132 rating. And protecting the quarterback, Cassel with 0 sacks. And, of course, Schaub with the one that really cost, I think, the Texans a chance to get some points before halftime. And Dwayne Bowe, 3 receptions. He caught Matt Cassel's first pass of the half or the game and caught that last pass of the half for the touchdown. He also set up that touchdown catch with a key 3rd down conversion that was reviewed but upheld.
So we're ready to start the second half. Houston, who deferred in the first half, will get it to start the second period. As Suckup sends it away, Steve Slayton back deep. And Slayton will start from his own 3. Nice running as Slayton finds a hole, crosses the 25. It's a 25-yard return. Terrence Copper with the tackle on special team. So that brings out Matt Schaub in the first half. Schaub 8 of 10, 73 yards with 1 touchdown.
That's a couple of pretty good quarterbacks right there. 21 of 25 for both quarterbacks.
Schaub down the middle. At the 46, in front of Brandon Carr, gain of 19.
Yeah, that's a nice play action, and you think always when they go play action, Andre Johnson's going to go deep, and it looks like he's going to, and you got to bail out if you're Carr thinking he's going to go to the home run. Then when he snaps it off, it's a nice 15-yard play. Watch the play action. Vontae Leach up ahead of Foster. You got to respect it if you're the Chiefs, and that gives Schaub time to let it develop.
Johnson 4 catches, 70 yards. Here's the rollout. Schaub looking, and he just throws it out of bounds. Good job by Mike Vrabel chasing him.
Yeah.
Houston, a very good second half team on the season.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, and you look at all the teams involved in this graphic, Gus, perennial playoff contenders, all of them. Houston wanting to take that step this year. Gary Kubiak, I mean, you got to acknowledge it is important to this franchise this year to make a run at the playoffs and get in.
Second down and 10 at the 46. Leach and Foster in the backfield. Dreesen in motion. Lines up in the slot at the bottom. Foster. And Foster wrestled down. A flag on the play, thrown late. Belcher with the tackle.
Thrown by the umpire on the other side of the field. Second official in the backfield with the Texans.
Personal foul. Personal foul. Leg whip. Defense. Number 74. 15-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Well, he said defense and pointed at the offense.
Leg whip.
He said defense, but he pointed at the offense, and that's who they're marking it off against. That's Wade Smith right here. If he goes down the ground, you'll see you can't like bring your legs up behind him like that. That right there is a leg whip. You can't try and trip the guy after you go down. And that is a personal foul, and that's what was called. It's a good call.
4 penalties, 41 yards for the Texans. Second and 25. Schaub. To Andre Johnson, broken up at the last moment. What a nice job by Brandon Flowers as he reached around and redirected the football.
You know, we talked to Andre Johnson, Gus, and he had a lot of respect for these corners for the Chiefs. He said every time you see a guy catch a ball on them, they're right there. I mean, they make you earn every catch. And Brandon Flowers told us yesterday, he goes, that's what I want to do. They got to earn the catch that they're going to get against me. That was a great job on defense by that corner. That's a great no call. Even if he got there on an eyelash before the ball did, you're never going to get that call from an official.
Third down and 25 at the 31. Schaub out of the shotgun to the sideline. Jacoby Jones, and he won't get there. Knocked out of bounds by Brandon Carr. A 9-yard gain on 3rd and 25, and Houston 3 and out.
That was such a 3rd and long. They're going to drop back and try and maybe pick up the first down, but that's asking a lot. And the Chiefs dropping everybody back into coverage. Everybody's dropping out, and Schaub finally has to release it to somebody, and it's just never enough for the first down in that situation.
But the penalty, the personal foul penalty, really hurting Houston on that series. Turk from the 26, wobbly kick. Arenas lets it take a bounce, picks it up at the 15. And Arenas dragged down at the 24 by David Nixon. 45-yard punt, 8-yard return.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Some injuries with the linebackers for Houston. DeMeco Ryans has an Achilles injury. He will not return. So Zach Dials is in the middle now for the Texans. First down and 10 at the 23. And this is Thomas Jones running. Crosses the 25.
You talk about the linebacking situation for the Texans. We mentioned at the top, they only had 4 guys active to begin with. So that leaves them with 3. David Nixon comes into the game. He'll move over to Zach Dials' spot at the outside linebacker. Dials moves inside, and Brian Cushing stays at his normal spot. That's an enormous problem for the Texans defense, in my opinion. 3 healthy linebackers. I mean, you hope nothing happens, because then they're going to start moving safeties up to play linebacker, you got big problems against a physical Chiefs running game.
2nd and 6 at the 27. Cassel in trouble, and he fires it incomplete. Intended for Thomas Jones, and right there, David Nixon in the game now, second-year player out of BYU.
Yeah, and you saw the Texans, they had everybody up around the line of scrimmage. They came with extra pressure. You see there, David Nixon, second year out of BYU. I mean, you see everybody standing in around the line of scrimmage, and the Texans, it's a jailbreak. You got Mario Williams running in there right in Cassel's face. Cassel does the right thing and just heaves it.
3rd down, 6 at the 27. They need to go to the 33 for a first down. Jamal Charles in the game. Here's Cassel over the middle, caught, nicely done, and that's Moiaki. Tony Moiaki, the rookie out of Iowa, gains 11 yards on the play, his 17th catch of the year. He's averaging 11 yards per reception.
And the Texans send 6 guys on the rush. Moiaki sees it, just turns around. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. Pollard is the 8th guy down in the box. He's supposed to pick up Moiaki, and you see there, these guys are the young players in the National Football League. Moiaki doing a nice job. He's going to be a really good one, I think, Gus.
As he picked up his 17th catch. First down and 10 at the 38. And it's Jones with running room. And Thomas Jones stopped by Sean Cody, but gains 8 yards on the play. And here's that ball control, as you talk about all the time, Steve.
Yeah, and I think immediately with that ball control and the situation at linebacker for the Texans, you know, the defensive coordinator for the Texans, Frank Bush, is going to have to do some creative things to try and get this momentum that the Chiefs have stemmed. And they're doing it with pressure on the last few downs. That time they didn't bring pressure, and the Chiefs snapped off a 9-yard run.
Kansas City with 111 rushing yards. Houston has 52 rushing yards. 2nd and 2 at the 47. And this time Jones goes nowhere. Antonio Smith.
That was a nice job up front, running a little bit of a game right there. Just steps down and nobody comes out to get him. They tried to come around. He just throws the blocker off of himself and steps right up and makes the tackle.
3rd down and 3 at the 45. Kansas City. Cassel looking underneath. Bo with the catch and a first down. Nixon with the tackle, a gain of 7.
Matt Schaub's doing a really nice job of making quick decisions and then firing the ball in. Watch, you'll see as he comes out, he's looking way wide, gives a pump fake, and then just turns and hits the underneath receiver. He doesn't look at Bo. He knows he's coming across from the other side of the formation and just waits on him. Well done by the quarterback.
So on 3rd down and 3, they get 4, and the chains keep moving. Kansas City 5 of 10 in this game on 3rd down conversions. Thomas Jones hurdling a defender. Dives forward. Frank Okam with the tackle. So on 1st down, they gain 5. And when you look at these running backs coming into this game, Thomas Jones averaging 4 yards a carry. Jamal Charles averaging 6.5 yards a carry.
And he's so tough down inside, does a great job off the block. Watch Cox just lays down and he forces it to jump over the top of Agunlie, and he does it for a nice gain.
2nd and 5 at the 43. Thomas Jones running left. And can't get outside. Good job by the Texans defense. Glover Quinn in the area. And it's only a 1-yard gain.
Chiefs lining up. 3 tight ends in the game, all coming out and making blocks. Going to the wide side of the field behind 2. You see there's 2 tight ends at the bottom of the formation and a 3rd one at the top along with a fullback. I mean, it's just, that's power football, and the Chiefs are getting it done.
3rd down 4 at the 42. Short drop underneath. Bo with another catch. get to the sideline. Yes! Touchdown, Kansas City. 42 yards on 3rd down and 4. What a block by little Dexter McCluster. Watch number 22 on this play.
You're right, Gus. Dwayne Bowe comes in there just trying to pick up the first down on a 3rd and 3 or 4. Bowe catches it, snaps it up hard, shrugs off the arm tackle, sidesteps, and then watch the cut. He runs outside of McCluster, knowing McCluster can keep up with him, and all he does really is just get in the way. Perfect.
Second touchdown reception of the day for Dwayne Bowe. 3rd touchdown pass of the day for Matt Cassel. Kansas City looking good on the road again as they take a 21-7 lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by TD Ameritrade.
Gus, we've talked about the pass defense and how it has struggled. Of course, you think you're going to struggle against Peyton Manning and the Colts, but it hasn't been just that. Donovan McNabb and the Washington Redskins, 426 yards. And then, of course, last week against the Giants, almost 300 yards, but 3 touchdowns. And then today, Matt Cassel and the Chiefs, short pass, long run, great run by Bowe with some help from McCluster to get into the corner of the end zone. That's the difference. We talked about how the Texans would try and get more pass pressure on Matt Cassel to disrupt the play on that end of the pass. Hasn't happened.
Bowe with those 2 touchdowns, 5 catches, 99 yards. And the Chiefs kick it short at the 20. Monte Leach, starting fullback, gets to the 30. A 9-yard return. No drops by Dwayne Bowe today. He's got sticky hands. And folks, just looking at this graphic, this is the story of the season for the Texans.
It really is, and they have to find a way to overcome it. Gary Kubiak has said he's going to live and die with a young secondary, and today, they're not doing much to resuscitate his hopes for the season. I mean, that they have gotten torched by a Chiefs team who doesn't even like to throw it that much.
Texans start at their own 34. Shot over the middle. Jacoby Jones. Nice concentration for Jacoby, but a flag on the play. In the Texans backfield, Eric Berry, the rookie safety, with the tackle.
Both clubs, Matt Schaub is pointing one way and Glenn Dorsey's pointing the other. I think Matt Schaub's going to win out. I think he's right.
Kansas City, 3rd least penalized team in the NFL, behind Miami and Tampa.
Ron Winter doesn't act like he's in too much of a hurry, is he?
No, he is not.
Only use the hands to the face. Defense number 90. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Sean Smith.
Right there. Yeah, right there at the end.
So a 17-yard gain on 1st and 10 moves the ball to the Kansas City 49. Jacoby Jones in motion. Shaw. Andre Johnson. And Andre Johnson goes down at the 38. Derek Johnson, Brandon Flowers combining, but that's a 10-yard gain.
And I think this is the way you got to do it. If they're going to play man-to-man, you got to find ways to get them the football anyway. It doesn't have to be home runs. I think sometimes the Texans get too involved in sending Andre Johnson deep, because he's one of those receivers. He's open even when he's not open, so why not take as much as you can? Short passes are just as good.
Derek Ward checks into the backfield on 1st and 10 at the 38. They give it to him. Bounces it outside. Nice run. Ward down the sideline. Burst of speed. Touchdown, Houston.
Well, Gus, we told you in the open, the Texans are able to go big plays in the running game and the passing game. We talked about Andre Johnson. There hasn't been too many big plays, but on this occasion, Derek Ward takes it around the left side, finds a crease, and goes down the sideline. Home runs in the running game are the most difficult, and yet the Texans get it done. Great job by Derek Ward.
A 38-yard run, his third touchdown run of the season, longest touchdown run of the season for Derek Ward. And just like that, the explosive Texans right back in it. We've got a 7-point game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sony. And by Toyota.
Three plays, 66 yards. And Derek Ward with his third straight game with at least one rushing touchdown. And we have a 21-14 game. Neil Rackers right into your living room, folks. Arenas from the 5. And Arenas gets up to the 25. Still running. And he finally is stopped at the 28, a 24-yard return. The kicker, Neil Rackers, gets him. Let's take another look at the touchdown. Ward got some help, Steve.
Yeah, Joel Dreesen comes in motion, latches on to Tom Bahali. You see his hands on the outside. As long as you get your hands inside the framework of your own body, you're never going to get called for a hold. And that one, I mean, there's no question. He had handfuls of jersey and was pulling him toward and doing everything he could. But if you do it with the right technique, you get away with it.
And that's exactly what Dreesen did. First down and 10 at the 29 now for KC. Here's the reverse. McCluster breaks it inside. And out of bounds at midfield. Dexter McCluster. Knocked out of bounds by Troy Nolan, but gains 20.
You know, we talked to Todd Haley. When you ask him about McCluster and how he's doing, he says, you know, the guy, we need to get him on the field more. And he's talking about using McCluster also in the backfield, running between the tackles. He believes, even though the guy weighs less than $170, he's still physical enough to go in there and run it between the tackles. Look for him to do a lot more things for this Chiefs, even than he's doing today.
First down, a handoff. Thomas will make that Jamal Charles. And Charles still running. A lot of running room as he gains 8 yards. Big game today, Baltimore and New England. Here's James Brown.
Hey, Gus and Steve, Baltimore trying to get a little breathing room on New England after a Tom Brady pick. Joe Flacco up top, Gus hooking up there with Anquan Bolden, his fourth touchdown reception of the season. 17-7 Baltimore over New England. Back to the commercial voice of the year, Gus Johnson.
All right, JB. Second down and 2 at the 43. Cox and Jones in the backfield. In the I formation. Jones. First down and more. Jones still running. And Kansas City just grounding and pounding out this Texan squad. That's a 19-yard gain. Kareem Jackson with the tackle.
That's right, Gus. And that's what this game is going to come down to, Gus. The Texans have got to stop the Chiefs. They can't pull this offense off the side of the road and stop them. They're just grounding it and running it right down the Texans' throat, and the Texans have no answer. Their offense is answering. They got a touchdown back, but they've got to get a stop and keep the Chiefs off the board, and they can't do it.
And how about Mike Cox starting today? His coach told us he's a hammerhead, and he came up with a terrific block on that run by Thomas Jones. First down. Jones again with room, and he gains 4, gets to the 20. Stopped by Zach Dials. Cleveland and Pittsburgh on Big Ben's return. Here's JB in New York.
Hey, Gus, and we were teasing, and Mike Tomlin said that Roethlisberger would have to earn his way back. Yeah, right. Take a look here as he hooks up with Hines Ward. Good, strong run by Hines Ward. 8-yard touchdown play, 5 plays, 96 yards, 14-3 Pitt. Back to Gus and Steve.
All right, JB, second down. And Jamal Charles staying on his feet, stumbling inside the 10. A 12-yard gain. We talked at the top of our broadcast. We said that Kansas City earns their yards the old-fashioned way. They run the football, and here we go.
Yeah, and they've got 2 running backs, Gus, that we talked about in the top of it. Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones. Now Jamal Charles breaks that run off. Now Thomas Jones comes in, and both of them are physical, fast runners. And in the fourth quarter and second half of games, this team can finish.
178 rushing yards. That ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. Looks like Antonio Smith got a hand on it.
Well, this Chiefs team, you know, they really run an offense. It's a textbook way to run an offense. They throw the ball to complement the run game. And because of that, they don't turn it over very much. And it just makes it really tough to beat them.
And look at the time of possession. 26:03 for Kansas City. 15:11 for Houston. Second and goal at the 9. Cox and Jones in the backfield. Cassel changing the play. The pitch. Jones near side. Dives forward and gets to the 6. David Nixon, Troy Nolan with the tackle. A 3-yard gain.
And this is where, as we said in the first half, the Chiefs have not been very good in the red zone. The Texans have not been very good defensively in the red zone. But I'll tell you what, Gus, the Chiefs, with their ability to run the football, it really makes them formidable down here today. The Texans have got to not only bone up for the running game, they've got to be finesse enough to defend the pass.
Watch McCluster at the top of your screen. Third down goal. Cassel fires. Bat it down. Great play in the secondary by Bryce McCain. Second-year man out of Utah.
Yeah, and this is the kind of throw you want to make in the red zone, Gus. Get it out there, give your guy a chance to just go up and get it. Nice job by McCain getting a hand in there. It's a pretty good throw by Cassel. Up high where he can grab it, inbounds where he can come down with it. McCain just makes a good play.
Terrence Copper, the intended receiver. That brings on Ryan Suckup into attempt 1 from 24 yards away. And it's good. 2:58 to play in the third quarter. Kansas City taking a 24-14 lead. Welcome back. 9-play, 65-yard drive as the Chiefs eat up 404. Suckup with the 24-yard field goal. Kansas City taking a 24-14 lead. Tell you what, Charlie Weiss has called a great game today for this Kansas City offense. He has kept this Houston team off balance from the very opening series. And look at the short kick. Again, Vontae Leach down the sideline. Vontae Leach to bowling ball. Gets to the 46. A 27-yard return. John McGraw with the tackle. That time, Houston took advantage.
Yeah, they tried the mortar kick. Vontae Leach heads up, just catches it on the run. But then they get the guys on the Chiefs coverage unit avoiding the blocks inside. Vontae Leach has got nothing but green grass in front of him. The last thing you want to do is hit the mortar kick to the sideline and then run inside as a coverage team. Total blown assignment for the Chiefs coverage.
So the Texans start at the Chiefs 46, first down. Walter, the motion man. Shaw pulls it down, and he'll tiptoe out of bounds. A 3-yard gain. So at this point in the season, Steve, it looks like the Texans are going to struggle on defense.
Well, they're going to have to outscore people, Gus. They're just going to have to do it. Gary Kubiak knows it. He's an offensive coach. You look at their big trio with Matt Schaub, Arian Foster, and Andre Johnson. That's today. And also have these guys with a TD each. But these three guys are going to have to outscore Texans opponents all season because their defense is just not holding up.
Andre Johnson at the bottom of your screen. Foster in the backfield, 2nd and 7. Play action, Schaub in trouble. And he goes down, a flag on the play as well. Great pressure. Wallace Gilberry getting to him, and that's a loss of 6.
It was a 5-man rush. And the Chiefs running that 3-4 defense confused the offensive line.
Offense number 73. Penalties decline. Makes it 3rd down.
That's Eric Winston, the right tackle, one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL.
And you'll watch as the Chiefs, you see the 4-down lineman, and then they come out on the outside right at the bottom of your screen right here. See, he grabs. Yeah, he's got Sean Smith around the waist from behind. That's a hold.
3rd down and 13 at the 49. Derek Ward back in the game. The former Giant. Schaub, play fake. Schaub dumps it off to him. Can he get there? Nice move after the catch. And it'll be close. Looks like he gained about 12. Arenas with the tackle. Now, Gary Kubiak has the decision.
And he's going to go for it on his own 4th down. And this is a nice job by Schaub. Give him a chance. Give Ward a chance to make a guy miss and get close. And he does. He gets very close to the 1st down. I think this is the right call by Kubiak. You've got to break something loose. It's the last few seconds of the 3rd quarter. And it's time to make something happen.
So here we go, 4th down and 1 at the 37. Big play for the Texans. Arian Foster, the league's leading rusher. The single setback. Jacoby Jones in motion. Schaub will throw it. Underneath. Daniels with the catch. 1st down. That's a gutsy call by Gary Kubiak. A gain of 9 on 4th and 1. Derek Johnson brings him down.
That gives you an idea of the difference in these two teams. Gary Kubiak not afraid to put the ball in the hands of his best player and let him throw it to his tight end. You said it, Gus. That is a gutsy call on a 4th down conversion to put the ball up in the air to the outside. Wow.
1st down and 10 at the Kansas City 28. Leach Foster in the offset out. Daniels in motion. Foster breaks it inside. And Arian Foster goes down at the 23. Ankle tackle by Glenn Dorsey, who's been terrific today. That's a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, this is a situation I think that the Texans are going to find themselves in a lot. They're going to be in a tussle in the 2nd half of football games with their defense giving up points, and they're going to have to answer. It's harder to come from behind than it is to run with the lead, Gus. The Texans are behind and have been the entire game.
2nd and 5 at the 23. The handoff. And it's Ward this time. He'll lean forward and get inside the 20. Picks up 4. And that takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter with the score, Kansas City 24, Houston 14.
There you go, Gus. This right here. This is a really, really important statistic in football. You're never out of it. Houston can score points, and they do it a lot late in games. You're talking about good quarterbacks when you talk about teams who can score in the 4th quarter, and Matt Schaub's up at bat.
3rd down and 1 for Schaub at the Kansas City 19. Drops back, dumps it off. Foster, nice catch out of the backfield, and picks up the 1st down to the 15. Brandon Carr trips him up, but it's a gain of 4 on 3rd and 1.
You know, we were talking, Gus, during the break. You know, you talk about the difference in the way these two teams are built. Matt Schaub, Arian Foster, and Andre Johnson. But this is also a team here in Houston that was built to compete in the AFC South with the Indianapolis Colts. They're built to score points and get after the quarterback in shootouts against Peyton Manning. That's why these two teams look so different.
1st down and 10 at the Kansas City 15. As we start the 4th quarter. Schaub again. Underneath Jacoby Jones. And Jacoby Jones down at the 7-yard line. Eric Berry, the impressive rookie, strong safety with the tackle.
You know, there's not too many teams out there, Gus, that have this kind of confidence in their offensive line and their quarterback and their ability to match up outside, to drop back and just keep throwing it when you're down by 10 in the fourth quarter. No question that Texans are a little bit backed into a corner now, but man, what confidence they show in their play selection.
Matt Schaub not afraid to go to his tight ends in situations like this. Dreesen is the tight end at the top of your screen. Here's the handoff, and it's Arian Foster this time. And he'll get to the 5, maybe the 4.5, as Glenn Dorsey made first contact for KC.
And that's going to be maybe, depending on the spot, a first down. And they do get it. And that's huge. First and goal on the 5, Gus, and that opens up the playbook for Gary Kubiak.
What do you run in a situation like this if you're the Texans? What kind of plays?
It's all film study. This field, I think, Gus, it's important to spread the defense thin from sideline to sideline because you cannot stretch them vertically. There's no room.
First down and goal at the 5. Foster leans forward, dives, and gets to the 2. Brandon Carr stops him, and it's a 3-yard gain on first and goal at the 5.
And they run the stretch play. They stretch the defense outside to side and then cut back into the gaps that are created by the defense trying to spread sideline to sideline. And look for another one. Either they'll do the same thing, Gus. They'll try and spread it sideline to sideline and then poke a hole in it somewhere. It might be Matt Schaub. It could be Arian Foster.
Second down goal at the 2. Foster and Leach in the backfield. Foster again. Dives. Touchdown. Bob McNair, the owner. Matt Schaub orchestrating an 11-play, 46-yard drive, eating up close to 6 minutes.
Watch how smooth and fluid Foster runs through there, sidestepping, keeping his balance right there, and then just leaning into the end zone. The Chiefs do a nice job, but Foster just slips through the cracks, well blocked up front, and a great drive by the Texans to answer.
Heel Rackers tacks on the extra point. 12:06 to play in the 4th. We've got a ball game in the Lone Star State. Houston, KC.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
(24-21). Arian Foster with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. And Houston pulls to within 3. Neil Rackers kicking it off. Javier Arenas and Dexter McCluster are back deep. Arenas, 4 yards deep, brings it out of the end zone. And gets to the 30. 33-yard return as James Casey makes the tackle on special teams. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach C for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. The Subway postgame show coming up next. So Matt Cassel and the Kansas City offense takes over at their own 30-yard line. 11:59 to play, an eternity here in the 4th quarter.
When it comes to this, Gus, can the Texan defense step up?
Dexter McCluster in the backfield. Jeremy Horn in motion. Cassel sets up a screen, incomplete. Intended for McCluster, but the Texans were standing right on the play.
And the Texans putting their ears back in the shotgun formation, expecting that short pass, getting right in the middle of it.
Texans defense doing it without D'Amico Ryans in the locker room with an Achilles injury. 2nd and 10 at the 30. Inside handoff, Charles. And Charles Gets close to the first down, gains 8. Sean Cody with the tackle, but the rushing game has been a story for Kansas City.
It's been the difference because the Chiefs have just been so good, not only the front line, but you see here, both Thomas Jones and Jamal Charles being able to step around blocks, step through blocks. It's been huge. They've got 188 yards thus far in the game, and they're not finished yet.
3rd down and 2 for Kansas City at the 38. Cassel underneath once again. Dwayne Bowe with a huge 3rd down reception. The Chiefs are now 7 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. Eugene Wilson with the tackle.
You can just tell, Gus, watching this game, when you watch this defense for the Texans, after the Chiefs are able to convert that 3rd down, you can just feel the wind go out of that defense. They're standing there. They all got their hands on their hips trying to get something done, and they have no answer for the physical nature of this Chiefs offense.
Brian Cushing, 2nd game back after serving the suspension. 1st down and 10 at the 47. Charles. And Charles, stopped by David Nixon, picks up 6.
And we said this in the open, that the Chiefs are going to run the ball with Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones, and in the 4th quarter, by splitting the carries between the two, they are still going to be able to be very physical, very fast, and fresh. And right now, early in the 4th quarter, they look like it's the 1st quarter, and the Texans look like they've been out there all day.
Jamal Charles on the sideline. Thomas Jones back in. He's got 15 carries, 73 yards. Charles, 15 carries, 86 yards. Jones skipping. And finally, taken down after a 2-yard gain by David Nixon. Now remember, Nixon is in because D'Amico Ryans is out. They only had 4 linebackers active to start this game.
And that's huge, Gus, because there's nobody that can come in for the linebackers except defensive backs. And you see there now the Texans do it. McCain comes in as Nixon comes off. Now if the Chiefs decide to run it, they're running it against a 184-pound cornerback instead of a 225-pound linebacker.
3rd down and 2 at the 45 for Kansas City. They're 7 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. And Cassel will burn a timeout. 9:08 to play, 4th quarter. Big 3rd down coming up for KC.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cadillac, the new standard of the world. Rogue Skyline. On November 12th, our first encounter will be our last stand. And by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
.908 to play, 4th quarter. 24-21 KC. Chiefs with the football. 3rd down and 2 at the Texans 45.
Gus, this is the biggest 3rd down of the game so far. Houston's offense is clicking, and the Chiefs have got to keep them off the field.
Texans have not been able to stop the run. And a flag.
Delay a game.
Huge.
Delay a game.
Coming out of a timeout.
Okay. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Todd Haley can't believe it.
He's telling his quarterback to get over there. You saw him giving him the let's go, let's go, let's go, waving them forward, and they just lounged. They didn't hustle at all. And that's an enormous mistake at this point.
Now watch this man, Dwayne Bowe. He's been excellent on 3rd downs today. Chiefs having some problems lining up.
Now they're still having problems.
3rd and 7 at midfield. Cassel underneath, caught at the 40-yard line. This time, it's Moiaki. He gains 10 on 3rd down and 7.
So Matt Cassel's directing traffic. Dexter McCluster and Dwayne Bowe can't get lined up. He says, forget it, I'm throwing it to Moiaki. That's I'll tell you what, that's a quarterback leader. He's got to get everybody lined up, and he's got to get two guys he's not even going to look at to get lined up properly and finally get the playoff after a penalty.
Chiefs 8 of 14 on third down conversions. First down at the Texans 40. Charles. And the Texans, great pursuit, but Charles reverses, gets a block. Wow, what a run. David Nixon with the tackle as he gets 8 yards by reversing.
No question. Watch Charles. I mean, he's done. It's over. And he just spins out of it. Okoye just lets him go. I mean, he goes back so far, the quarterback throws a block right here on Smith. He's gonna wish he hadn't done that tomorrow.
16 carries, 93 yards for Charles. 2nd and 3 at the 33. Thomas Jones now with a big opening. Down the sideline, chased out of bounds by Pollard and a flag. This will be a late hit. So they'll tack on even more yards to the 10-yard gain.
Gus, I'll tell you right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are for real. That 3-1 start is not a fluke. They are good.
After the runner was out of bounds, personal foul, late hit, number 31, defense. After this is to the goal, and a first down.
That last third down conversion where Cassel got him lined up and then hit his tight end, Moyaki, just tells you that they've got everything together. They don't make mistakes, and even when they do, they overcome them, and that's a good. He gave him a little extra 2 steps out of bounds. Thomas Jones been around enough. He knows that's a penalty. The Chiefs just don't make mistakes.
First down and 10 at the Houston 11. Jones looking. Thomas Jones! Touchdown, KC! Smash mouth football. 11 yards. And Todd Haley and the Chiefs continue to run it down Houston's throats.
You can't play the Kansas City Chiefs with only 4 linebackers up. You can't do it. They're too physical, the game's too long, and sooner or later, this happens.
What a block by Ryan Lilja, the right guard, number 65. 7:05 to go in the fourth. The extra point, good. 224 rushing yards for the Chiefs. 31-21. Coming into the game, it was the pass defense that was a problem. Different story today, though, Steve.
Absolutely, and this is no longer going to be the case. They will not be ranked 5th after today.
D'Amico Ryan's hurt, did not come out to start the second half. An Achilles injury. We don't know how severe it is, but he will not return. Steve Slayton from the goal line. And Slayton wrapped up at the 14-yard line, a 13-yard return. Travis Daniels with the tackle on special teams. Coming up next, the world's top 10 bull riders take on the fiercest bucking bulls in a first ever open-air event in Times Square. The PBR Built Ford Tough Road to the World Finals. The Texans take over at their own 14. Time not on their side, but they can score points in bunches. Schaub over the middle, Owen Daniels. And Owen Daniels wrapped up at the 38. A 24-yard gain. Belcher and Donald Washington with the tackle.
Every time the Chiefs have extended their lead, the Texans have answered. And we said in the beginning, this is a big play offense, and they embrace it. They don't shy away from it or apologize from it. They sling it all over the yard, and they're good at it.
First down at the 38. Shot. Sideline Daniels with room. Owen Daniels out of bounds inside Kansas City territory. Mike Vrabel knocks him out of bounds. He gains 27.
I think the Chiefs are getting caught paying a little too much attention to everybody except Owen Daniels. Andre Johnson's double teamed, and so was Joel Dreesen.
Daniels 4 catches, 68 yards.
And that's the problem. Matt Schaub will pick the guy that is uncovered, no matter who it is.
And a timeout called by Kansas City. Good timeout called right here by the Chiefs. Texans down the field big in 2 plays. 10-point game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway Restaurants. Try the newest $5 footlong Subway Club today. And by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL.
Gus, as we went to break, you mentioned it was a good timeout. Not too many coaches give their defenses a timeout. I think it's a smart play by Todd Haley.
First down and 10 at the 35 for the Texans. Schaub out of the backfield. Foster breaks it inside and is finally taken down. What a one-arm tackle. What a play by Andy Studebaker.
You said it, Gus. What a grip. I mean, it's a great cut by Foster. Looks like he's by him, but no. Studebaker pulls him down. I'll tell you, Todd Haley loves all 45 of his guys. He says, I got 45 frontline players. They're all going to get a chance to contribute. Studebaker gets it done.
2nd and 7. Schaub. Underneath, Jacoby Jones dives forward and gets to the 21. Dangerous throw. Derek Johnson with the tackle. A 10-yard gain.
Yeah, after this play, Flowers gets up. Looks like he got something happened to him. I don't know. He gets up kind of not himself. He's either got kicked in the face, he falls on himself or whatever. But yeah, Schaub, he got run into by his own guy, Antoine Caldwell, getting pushed back into the pocket.
First down and 10 to the 22. Play fake. Schaub steps up in the pocket, rolling. Schaub just throws it out of bounds.
Well, he's got great pocket presence, Gus. You don't get to be the quality of quarterback he is without having it. He extends the play, gives his guys a chance to get open, to make a play that's not written in the playbook. When everything else breaks down, he gives them every opportunity. Nobody could get it done. Great job by the Chiefs secondary.
2nd down and 10 at the 22. Ward in the game now for Houston.
It's 4-down territory, Gus.
They give it to Ward. And he's got an opening. Ward dives forward and gets to the 5. Clock still running. A gain of 16. Donald Washington makes the tackle.
It's a great play down inside. Across the formation, follows Leach right through the hole, and a great block once again by Vontae Leach to spring Ward.
First down at the 6. Foster. And Foster will get to the 1. A 5-yard gain. Houston has 3 timeouts, but you would think they'd like to save them.
Yeah, and I think right now, I think they should get in the huddle and get out of the huddle and run this ball in the end zone fast. Time is of the essence at this point with less than 4 minutes to go. They're down 10.
2nd down and goal. Foster, can he get there? Dives, touchdown. 2nd of the day. 3:30 to go. White knuckler here in Houston.
Simple off tackle. Arian Foster runs to the sideline, waits for an opening, and then puts his foot in the ground, and boom, right over the top. Exactly what you want him to do. Get that offensive line out on a hat, then get down low to get him on the ground and let him go over the top.
Neil Rackers in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. So here's the situation. 3:30 to go in the fourth. 31-28 Kansas City.
Watch this offensive line on the right side. They're going to move out, get out on their men, and then they get on the ground, and Arian Foster goes right up over the top. You see how he'll run straight for the sideline when he gets the football, and then break right up over the top, right into the end zone.
8 plays, 86 yards. They eat up 331. But the question for Gary Kubiak's team,
well,
can they stop anybody? Can they get this man the ball back? The Texans have been horrible on defense today. Look at the last 4 possessions.
Yeah, that's not going to be good enough in this situation. Now, the Texans have all 3 of their timeouts, but they're not going to do them any good if the Chiefs get first downs.
3 consecutive 9-play drives for Kansas City.
I'll tell you right now, Gus, a 9-play drive here ends the game.
Defense gathering for Houston. Frank Bush, the defensive coordinator, has to have a plan to get the ball back for his team. Texans have 3 timeouts left, plus the 2-minute warning. Kansas City with only 1 timeout. And the short kick takes a bounce. McCluster with the football. And McCluster out of bounds. Neil Rackers pushes him out of bounds. So the story of this game, the story right now, is the Houston Texans defense. Can they stop this Kansas City team after scoring on their last 4 possessions?
I think they've got to bring pressure and force the Chiefs to throw the football. Put everybody in around the line of scrimmage. You've got to contain the running game for the Chiefs and force them to throw the ball. Even though your secondary has been torched, you got to do it.
First down and 10 at the 33. Thomas Jones, the lone setback. They give it to him. And Jones gobbled up quickly. Nice job by Sean Cody. 3-yard gain. We've mentioned Cody's name early and often in this one. He's been terrific today. Clock continues to run. 3:06. 2nd and 7. At the 36.
They won't start using their timeouts, the Houston Texans, until the Chiefs get a first down and it gets inside the 2-minute or gets close to the 2-minute.
Mike Cox, Thomas Jones in the backfield. Cassel will throw it. Cassel finds Cox out of the backfield, and they jump on him quickly. He gets to the 41, picks up 5. David Nixon, Kareem Jackson combining.
And now Kubiak will take that first timeout with 2:36 left in the game. Sets up another enormous 3rd down for the Kansas City Chiefs.
This will be the biggest play of the game for both teams. Todd Haley's offense, 8 of 14 on 3rd down conversions, and they're dealing with 3rd and short. They just need a couple.
And I'll tell you, the Chiefs, under any circumstance, don't want to give the football back to Matt Schaub and Andre Johnson and the rest of them. They don't want to put that offense back on the football field because in this second half, the Chiefs haven't really been able to stop the Texans either.
Do you bring everybody right here if you're Houston?
You got to. You got to take the gamble. The Chiefs have not shown the desire to throw the football. I think you gotta decide and sell out, Gus.
3rd down, 2 at the 41. Standing room only now. and Reliant. Cox and Charles in the backfield. They fake the pitch. Cassel throws to the sideline. Incomplete. And Houston will get a shot. No flag on the play. Wow. What a gamble by Charlie Weiss to go at Moiaki, the rookie tight end.
Moiaki comes from all the way over here across the formation. Everybody runs out to the right. They hope that Moiaki can sneak out the backside, but Wilson, the 8-year veteran, one of the veterans, the few veterans in that secondary, sniffed it out and was there.
Colquitt will punt from the 26. Jacoby Jones back deep. Colquitt lifts this one high into the air. Jones lets it take a bounce and into the end zone. So how about this? Here comes Matt Schaub. He'll start from his own 20, down by 3.
He's got 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning and an offense that can get it done. This team has been sensational in the fourth quarter of games. As we saw a little while ago, we showed you the graphic, 44 fourth quarter touchdowns. They've got confidence, but still, you don't want to be in this situation. But all they need is a field goal.
The Rackers. First down and 10 at the 20. Schaub will throw. Out of the backfield, Foster with running room. He gets out of bounds at the 30. A gain of 10. How far do they need to go to get in Rackers' range?
They've got to get to the Chiefs' 35-yard line or just inside of it. That'd give them, and you see there, the career long is 55 yards. The roof is open here at Reliant. But it's such a vertical stadium, and believe me, this is a Super Bowl stadium. It's dynamite. It's not going to be a factor with the wind.
First down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Foster in the backfield. Here's Schaub again. With time underneath Andre Johnson at the 45. Brandon Carr with the tackle. It's a gain of 15.
Don't think that the Houston Texans are thinking field goal. They want to win this game on this drive, and they're going to take a shot at the end zone before this drive is finished.
Matt Schaub cool on the sideline. Todd Haley, Gary Kubiak the same. 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Kansas City with the lead, 31-28. Houston with the football at their own 45. 3 receivers at the bottom. Jacoby Jones crosses in motion. Shot. Looking. Dancing. Throws it up top. Incomplete. Andre Johnson on the sideline. Good coverage there by Brandon Carr. And don't forget, coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. Schaub has completed 12 of his last 14 passes. He's 22 of 28, 252, a touchdown, no picks. 2nd and 10. Schaub. Downtown for Johnson over the shoulder. It's caught, but a flag on the play. He may have pushed off.
Brandon Flowers think this has got to be against Andre Johnson, and the official is pointing the other direction.
The official.
And Brandon Flowers can't believe it.
It'll be good for 31 yards.
Pass interference. Defense number 24. Penalties decline. Play result on the first down.
Todd Haley cannot believe it. Flowers can't believe it either.
Yeah, he's sending Brandon Flowers back on the field so he can go over and give the official an earful. Watch at the top. You'll see him right there. It's a hand shot. And there's the push by Johnson that Flowers feels, and he thinks that's the flag. And I don't know. I didn't see much.
First down and 10 at the 24. Schaub. Pump. Andre Johnson, that ball thrown at his feet. Schaub was under heavy pressure.
Right there, working his car. You see how badly he wants to get to the inside. That's why the play didn't work. Brandon Carr doing a fantastic job of taking away what Andre Johnson really wanted to do, that inside release. Great job. I'll tell you, Gus, we get caught up so much in these skill players on the outside. What really makes these situations is the offensive line and the defensive line. That's the difference.
2nd and 10 at the 24. Matt Schaub, body's flying. Incomplete. Wow. Somebody just jumped over the line of scrimmage and almost did a somersault.
Watch the desperation. Woo! The desperation.
Derek Johnson.
Everybody is doing everything they can to win this football game. Matt Schaub getting rid of it. The offensive line fighting tooth and nail, and the defense trying to jump off cliffs to get there.
3rd down and 10 at the 24. Heel Rackers, they're already in his range. And a timeout has been called by Houston. Texans have 1 remaining. Have you ever seen something like this, Steve? Look at Derek Johnson, and he lands on his feet.
Watch as it goes over, and he comes over, and then, yeah, okay, he's a pretty good athlete.
Oh my goodness.
But Gus, this just tells you what these guys are going through. They are selling out. Look at Tamba Hali running as fast as he can, bobbing his head. He's running so hard to try and get to Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub flinging it out of his hand just so he doesn't take the sack. 2 really, really good football teams going at it late in the 4th quarter of a close football game.
3rd down 10 at the 24. They're 4 of 9 on 3rd down conversion. Schaub underneath Daniels. 1st down Texans. 11 yards on 3rd and 10. Javier Arenas with the tackle.
Very patient in the pocket. Schaub looks right at him, gets rid of the ball on time. Well defended by Arenas. Just can't make the play. The ball is too accurate. The route is too good.
1st down at the 13. Foster. And he's tackled immediately. Derek Johnson grabs him after a 2-yard gain. Under a minute to play.
No hurry for the Texans. Plenty of time. 1 timeout left. The Chiefs coming up big. Great job by Derek Johnson.
2nd down and 8 at the 11. That shot with time. Dances, fires inside. Touchdown! The great one. Andre Johnson. .31, 35-31 it is. Andre Johnson, what a game. 8 catches, 138 yards and a touchdown. And Houston, the Texans take their first lead of the game.
Andre Johnson has done a lot of good things, but we've seen it throughout this game. Matt Schaub extends the play and gives his guys a chance to make something happen. Andre Johnson right here, two guys all over him. They're not going to let him beat him, but then he breaks it off. Matt Schaub extends the play. They make a play that is not in the playbook. Great teams, great players do stuff that you can't coach. That's it.
And the penalty on Brandon Flowers will be something they'll be talking about in Kansas City all week.
I didn't think it was a good penalty, Gus. I didn't see too much contact. The official had a better angle than I did. You know, Brandon Flowers is not happy. Right there, you can see him giving the zebra an earful. I've been known to do that in my career.
He's got to be careful. Still some time remaining for Kansas City, 28 seconds and a timeout. Arenas McCluster back deep. Arenas from the 20. Arenas down the sideline, and he gets out of bounds. So they're close to the 40-yard line, Steve. As Neil Rackers knocks him out of bounds, it's a 19-yard return, and Flowers is still giving the official an earful.
Chiefs have got a timeout left. This is the penalty that Flowers is talking about right here, right there. Andre Johnson gives him the elbow in the back, pushes him away to get separation and makes the catch. Brandon Flowers thought it should have been a penalty on Andre Johnson, and they call it on him. And let me tell you something, Gus, that keeps you awake at night as a player. You cannot stand it when you think you've been unjustly penalized.
Matt Cassel, 1st and 10 at the 39 with the timeout. Cassel underneath Dwayne Bowe. That ball thrown behind Bowe. Brian Cushing giving pressure to Cassel.
We mentioned that this Texan team was built to play in the AFC South Division against Indianapolis. Those teams can score points at will. They score, they get after the passer. They're great when they have a lead. And for the first time today, the Texans have a lead.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Cassel steps up, sideline, incomplete. Jeremy Horn, the intended receiver, with 13 seconds left.
He comes open. Horn is right there. That's right where you need to be, and they just miss on the connection. You gotta have that in that situation.
The Texans told us that the one major fear they have of Cassel is his ability to throw a 65-yard ball when given time. 3rd and 10 at the 39. Cassel steps up over the middle. It's caught. Charles, they got to call a timeout with 4 seconds remaining. Their final one, Pollard.
They got it.
With the tackle. It's a 23-yard gain.
How cool is that? I mean, everybody's screaming, the time's clock ticking down, and Todd Haley already called the timeout. He knows he's already got it. Great play by Cassel, getting it to Charles. And this is a long field goal. Oh, and they can't even settle for that. Down by 4. They have no choice but to get inside that as close as they can and then throw it up.
The ball spotted at the 38. And just talk about the pure emotion of the National Football League.
He's not going to get over that. This is a game that we knew was going to be tight. These two teams are built to be solid.
All right, here we go. Final play of the game, most likely. Cassel in the gun. 3 receivers at the bottom. He needs time to throw it, and he won't get it. Sack, midfield. Amobi Okoye. What a play by the Texans defense. And Houston comes back to win it 35-31. That's the first sack of the game.
You got to find a way to get rid of it. Antonio Smith blows the play up. Cassel has to run for his life, and it's over.
35-31 the final. What a game.